The Black Death devastated Europe, reshaping societies and economies. To understand the Black Death, we must delve into its origins. The plague originated in Central Asia, lurking among rodents. It traveled along the Silk Road, carried by fleas on rats. In 1347, it reached Europe via Mediterranean ports. The first outbreak occurred in Kaffa, a Genoese trading post. During a siege, plague-infested corpses were catapulted over the city walls. From Kaffa, it spread rapidly to Constantinople and beyond. The disease moved swiftly along trade routes, infiltrating cities and villages. No place was spared from its deadly grasp. The plague brought unimaginable horror. Symptoms included swollen lymph nodes, fever, chills, vomiting, and blackened skin lesions. The infected succumbed quickly, leaving a trail of death. The initial outbreak set the stage for a pandemic that altered history. Its spread was relentless, devastating the continent. This catastrophe reshaped the world. Now, let's delve into its profound impact on the population. While the human toll of the Black Death was staggering, its impact on medieval society went far beyond the immediate loss of life. The pandemic fundamentally altered the social and economic landscape of the time. With a significant portion of the population wiped out, labor became a scarce commodity. Fields went unplowed, harvests were left to rot, and the feudal system began to crumble. Landowners, desperate for workers, offered better terms to peasants, shifting the balance of power. Laborers demanded higher wages and better conditions, sparking early seeds of a modern labor market. Innovations in agriculture and industry emerged, increasing productivity with fewer hands. Socially, the plague shattered rigid class structures, allowing social mobility. The Black Death also had profound effects on the cultural and religious fabric of society. Art and literature reflected the deep sense of loss and existential questioning. The Black Death reshaped every aspect of medieval society, setting in motion changes leading to the modern world. In the midst of the chaos and devastation wrought by the Black Death, the medical understanding and responses were primitive and largely ineffective. Medieval medicine was a blend of ancient Greek and Roman knowledge, religious beliefs, and local folklore. Physicians had limited tools and a rudimentary understanding of disease, often attributing illnesses to imbalances in the body's humors or as divine punishment for sins. The prevailing medical theories were based on the works of ancient scholars like Galen and Hippocrates, who posited that health was maintained by balancing four bodily fluids: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. Treatments included bloodletting, purging, and herbal remedies. However, none were effective against the Black Death. Desperate for a cure, some turned to extreme measures, such as self-flagellation, hoping to appease divine wrath. Others sought protection through religious means, participating in processions, prayers, and pilgrimages, believing that repentance could ward off the disease. Despite their best efforts, the medical community was largely powerless. The true cause, Yersinia pestis, spread by fleas on rats, was unknown. Efforts to control its spread were mostly futile. Quarantine measures were implemented in some areas, such as the city of Ragusa, where ships waited 40 days before docking, a practice that became the basis for modern quarantine protocols. The Black Death exposed the limitations of medieval medicine and highlighted the need for a more scientific approach. The Black Death's immediate devastation was evident, but its long-term consequences were equally profound. The dramatic reduction in population led to significant social and economic shifts. Labor shortages meant surviving workers could demand higher wages, improving living conditions. This shift played a crucial role in ending the feudal system. The pandemic spurred changes in public health policies. Quarantine became a cornerstone of disease control. Cities developed organized approaches to sanitation, laying the groundwork for modern epidemiology. The Black Death had a lasting impact on Europe's collective psyche. The tragedy heightened awareness of mortality, reflected in art and literature. The danse macabre symbolized the universality of death. Lessons from the Black Death were not forgotten. Future pandemics underscored the importance of early intervention and public health measures. The Black Death reminded us of the necessity of preparedness and scientific advancement. Understanding these consequences helps us navigate future challenges. The Black Death was a catastrophic event, reshaping the world profoundly. Its origins in Yersinia pestis led to social and economic upheavals. Labor shortages ended feudalism, empowering the working class. Primitive medical responses laid foundations for modern public health. The cultural impact was significant, altering art and literature. Symbols like the danse macabre remind us of mortality's universality. The Black Death catalyzed progress, reshaping societies and medical practices. It left an indelible mark on culture and collective consciousness. Remembering its lessons helps us navigate future challenges. The Black Death wreaked havoc on Europe's population, decimating communities and leaving a lasting impact. Dense population centers became breeding grounds, facilitating rapid spread. The pandemic's scale was unprecedented, affecting even remote corners of Europe. The Black Death swept through Europe, killing up to 2/3 of the population. The mortality rate was unimaginable. Medieval records were imprecise, but historians agree the impact was profound. Studies show over 50% mortality, with some regions even higher. The Black Death remains a tragic reminder of life's fragility and disease's power. During the medieval period, Europe was a patchwork of densely populated cities and sparsely inhabited rural areas. Estimates range from 75 to 200 million people. The plague swept into Europe, taking its toll, and Europe was lucky to recover.